Okay, we're looking at number 1 from the Integrated Algebra Regents from January of 2010. The question says, the box and whisker plot below represents the math test scores of 20 students. What percentage of the test scores are less than 72? Okay, so let's quickly review how we understand the features of a box and whisker plot. First of all, this line right there, that line is telling us the minimum value of the data. In this case, the data was math test scores, so it looks like the minimum test score was 66. The next line is on your calculator, that's Q1. We refer to that as the lower quartile. And the important thing to know about the lower quartile is that 25% of the data has to be less than the lower quartile, and 75% of the data is larger than the lower quartile. In this case, it looks like the lower quartile is at 72. The line that's in the middle, that's the median. That's telling us the median. In this case, it looks like it's telling us the median is 84. In other words, in this problem, that means that half of the math test scores were less than 84, and half of the math test scores were greater than 84. The third line you see on your calculator, that is Q3, we refer to that as the upper quartile. The important thing to know about the upper quartile is that 25% of the data is larger than the upper quartile, and 75% of the data is less than the upper quartile. In this case, the upper quartile seems to be 88. So 25% of the math test scores were larger than 88. Finally, the whisker is drawn out to the maximum value. And the maximum value in this problem is 98, which is telling us that the highest test score was a 98. So looking at the question again, it says, what percentage of the test scores are less than 72? If I look on the number line at 72, I see that the lower quartile is right above it, which means that 25% of the test scores were less than 72. The answer, therefore, must be 1.